June has brought some incredible games, but July has actually taken things up a notch even further. We've already made a few good lists showcasing new games, especially offline games, but you can get ready for the ultimate list as we count down our top 20 newly announced mobile games of July 2024 for your Android and iOS.
How does it feel to breathe when you're dead? They never seen you out of your bed.
First on our list today, we're giving a shout out to aceforce 2. Now you probably can't play it anymore on the Play Store, but the alpha testing ends tomorrow and you can pick it up on its official website or unofficial versions on APK Pure, TapTap, etc. before the game's full release. Now, I'm not sure whether if this is a sequel to anything, but it's a very good 5 vs 5 battle royale shooter. It's definitely inspired by Valorant. There's one problem: this game is about 6 to 8 gigabytes in size. Sitting on Steam, the Google Play and also the Apple Store. Number 2, we have Disney's Speedstorm. Not only the global version of it now, but the 8th official season launched for PCs and mobiles as well, and a big new fix. Disney's Speedstorm doesn't have a controller support or a graphical option for low-end devices yet, but it is smooth, graphically one of the best games you will ever play. It's right up there in quality with games as big as Crash Team Racing. Now, the best thing about this one is that it is free and only 4 gigabytes in size. Smilegate's forthcoming MMORPG Lord 9 is now actually available worldwide since yesterday. Well, first off, Smilegate is the same developers who made the Outer Lane and the famous game Epic 7. I mean, these two games combined have over 15 million downloads. So you can say these developers got it, at least they are backed. Lord 9, although available in Korean right now, is actually coming out in full in English and is one of the finest action MMORPGs in the mobile gaming history. It's free and it's about 4 gigabytes in total. Set to launch globally in about 2 months from now. Need for Speed Mobile is available now in China. A few days ago, Need for Speed Mobile, which is an open-world racing mobile exclusive game by Tencent's Teamy Studios, actually released for iOS and Android and seems much better than the previous alpha testing from a couple months ago. It now actually features over 150 luxury cars from around the world. If you didn't know this yet, this is actually the first open-world Need for Speed game on mobiles. And it's free. One big problem, the game is about 9 gigabytes in size. Ashaco's, on the other hand, now that we've broken the record in announcing Chinese games only in a list, is another AAA game from the same developers of the Revelation M. There's absolutely nothing that I would complain about this game's nature, except that it's not fully developed in English yet. Now, Ashaco's combines traditional tactical turn-based RPG mechanics with a mix of 2D and 3D designs on top of a narrative story-driven campaign to engage with. The combat, though, is just on a whole other level. This game is also free. Coming in at number 6, we have Granny 2, released a little less than a week ago and already meeting some of the most positive reception in its genre. Well, Granny 2 is a multiplayer mainly survival horror game, but if you do like, it even offers a offline story campaign and brings over everything that was good about the first game into an even finer package. Lots of puzzles, it's pretty easy to learn, it's scary, stealth mechanics, it even has a story. It's all there. The game is about 150 megabytes in total. Coming up behind that at number 7, we have War Legends. Previously available in only Europe, through alphas and betas. The game now sits on the Play Store, still on the Apple Store. However, it's worldwide now with an even more polished gameplay. See, World Legends is one of the craziest real-time strategy games that sits on mobile. It's almost a 10 out of 10 clone of Blizzard's Warcraft series with PvP maps, over 5 different races to choose, a day and night cycle, much more. This whole thing, although playable online, is about 600 megabytes in total. Moving on to number 8, we have Duck Life 9. This is a series of casual platform games that started life years ago. Now, it's so dramatically changed in quality and scale, you won't even recognize it's the same franchise. And first of all, it's a free-to-play in the beginning, but then a full game to unlock. Duck 9 is actually a mix of action adventures and a life sim game, all sit in a beautifully designed mix of two-dimensional characters and a 3D depth. It even plays offline and is on both stores. With less than 1,000 downloads on the Play Store. Number 9, we've got a new idle RPG from the same developers of the famous Prime and Legion that came out last month, going by the name Kingdom Under Fire mobile. This game is actually made with the use of Unreal Engine 4 and is one of the better looking games with hands-on this month. It's also the first mobile game of the Kingdom Under Fire series, offering new heroes, a much better design, and instead of pure real-time, it's a semi-auto battling role-playing game. Number 10, we have a Racing Kingdom. It's available now on the Play Store through pre-registration and an open beta. The full game is releasing in a week, so whatever you're watching over here, sooner or later, you'll have hands-on for free entirely. Now, first of all, if you're wondering whether this is real gameplay, the answer is yes. But it's not an open world racing or a racing adventure game. It's exactly what you see. It's a side view speedrunning racing game with just a stellar graphic. Coming up behind that, we have Renault Logan Car Sim. It's actually not just a car customization sim, but a open-world Grand Theft Auto style action game set in a typical Russian town in the 90s, where you can just feel like a real Russian driver. Well, the driving physics, I got to admit, is nearly perfect. The graphics might seem off, but if you like your games offline and enjoy finishing a lot of tasks and missions, well, this is one of the best games I can recommend that is not a scam. It's free and about 150 megabytes in total. This July, we've seen maybe 1 or 2 flight combat or flight sim games on the Play Store. Although nothing as good as Alliance Air War we've got over here. Not only this game plays offline and has a very realistic design, it actually has a few different camera angles, letting you aim, guide, and operate your military war machine, which actually there's a good variety of it in this game, and you can play against other players and also AI in dogfights using machine guns, rockets, Vulcan cannons, even guided missiles. If you like ace combat games, this is probably as close as a mobile game can deliver. Moving on to number 13, we have Era of Warfare. Now, here's the thing, if you've already played the recent Dreams of Immortals on Android, you'd be surprised to know this is actually from the same developers, and it's an even bigger MMORPG in scale. This game expands over a dozen huge maps, and it lets you choose over 7 different classes, each with a very distinct fighting style, in both PvP and player versus environment battles as well. It might just be one of the super mobile games we've had hands on since last month. It's about 1 gigabyte in total and rated at 4.5, although it's downloaded over 400,000 times. Coming in at number 14, we have Zombie Idol. Well, it's just a quick mention over here because the next game we're going to talk about is my favorite in the list. Before we do that, if you like tower defense, zombie survival games, you don't even really need to think twice. For just 150 megabytes this game is asking for, you're going to get 20 times the amount of action and variety of elements. Your job in this game is to just form a team of survivor mercenaries that each have a distinct weapon and attacking style, so you can pass through each levels. You can play this game only online. It's actually rated a 4.9 out of 5. Look guys, you all know my job is to look for new games, but to me the bigger responsibility is to look for quality. Endless Nightmare 1, the first game of its series, even though it's gone up to, I think, Endless Nightmare 5 now, which I have somehow avoided for all these years, I'm afraid to admit is actually the single most amazing survival horror game I've played ever on a mobile. I mean, people have actually complained that this game is too big and too detailed and far too challenging at times for a mobile game on the go. So just go figure. It's scary, stunning graphics, really good story, it even plays offline. Daybreak is actually a great game. It's not the first, but the 7th almost AAA in quality work of a mobile game developer that's been coming out with nothing but gold since its first game. I mean, games like Immortal Awakening, Cyber Rebellion are all from the same team. And to our surprise actually, Order Daybreak is a mix of both of these games. It's a action RPG with science fiction marvels and an anime inspired setting. It offers a 2.5 dimension perspective in a huge MMORPG scale experience. This is a free game, about 2 GB in size, and is available on both the Google and the Apple Store. With a 4.5 out of 5 rating, over 80,000 downloads in less than a week. Number 17 we have Cat Legends. It's actually a AFK style idle RPG, but one that actually has a engaging combat. So if you already like idle games and cats, I'd say you've already decided. If not, I should add, this game doesn't have force ads or ads at all if you don't want. It's quite simple to master, not that grindy either, and the progression system is just almost perfect in speed. The fighting mechanics are decent and it actually has a story. Coming up behind that at number 18, we've got a character collecting RPG called Fantasy Quest. It's our honorable mention of the day, although I haven't really played it yet, the reason being it's a paid $10 mobile game. What I do know is that this game has a similar style to the Skya games, where you have to organize a group of mercenaries and save other folks as you go. You collect, train them, build a deck, and fight in 3x3 strategic tile-based combat. Arcana Blade is another idle RPG we've come across recently that ain't really easy to ignore, especially if you like pixel art games. It's available on Android and iOS for free, and the full game is set to come out officially in about 2 days on July 15. Arcana Blade is actually the new work of the crazy developers who made Pixel Fantasy, Blood Knights, and actually some of the best minimalistic games on the Play Store. It actually is an even better game in design compared to those games, and it's free too. Right now the game is actually rated a 5 out of 5. Pre-Fire number 20 is a tactical platform online multiplayer shooter, but it can also optionally be played offline with AI. I wouldn't really suggest that, because the actual fun is when you're going against other players, but it's still decent. The game is a pretty close experience to Broforce. I mean, not remotely as smooth or fast, but actually a lot of fun to be had in return. It offers a wide range of weapons, characters inspired by real games, and, well, several modes to play through as well. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the list with Hamster's Idol. Some of you already know about the recent hamster coin rush that was going viral on the Telegram, and so, I don't know, somebody decided to make an actual idle RPG with that idea, which actually has turned out really well. It's an artful game, fun, there's a lot of hamsters to train here, there's got daily rewards, management sim game elements, it's all there. It's a free game too, and it's actually quite addicting. Thanks for watching, I really hope you enjoyed, I'll catch you in just a short few days.